Hey there, everyone. I'm meteorologist Cassie Knoll, and this is your 10 weather impact recap for the week. Let's start with a look at some of the top weather stories. In Hawaii, Kilauea volcano erupted again. This was episode 26 in an eruption that began back in December. Kilauea is one of the most active volcanoes on Earth, and this most recent episode put on quite a show with lava fountains reaching more than 1,000 feet into the air. While we've been having record heat in the eastern U.S., parts of the northern Rockies look like a winter wonderland this past weekend. Heavy snow fell in Glacier National Park in Montana on Saturday night, with totals of 1 to 2 feet in the highest elevations. Warming temperatures in the days that followed helped that snow to melt quickly. And some of the hottest temperatures ever recorded in the month of June in the mid-Atlantic and Northeast have happened this week. And that sweltering heat isn't over yet. Emily Ikeda is in New York with the latest.
The first heat wave of the summer pressing on in full force this morning.
It's just
overwhelming, overpowering, suffocating.
And baking more than 145 million Americans in heat alerts in what's poised to be another record-smashing day.
This heat is not for the faint of heart.
It felt like triple-digit temperatures from Texas to New England Monday, including parts of North Jersey where a pair of outdoor graduation ceremonies landed 16 attendees in the hospital. Dozens of others were treated on site. And the rising temperatures taking a toll on commuters. From buckled roads
seriously apologize for this.
To a stalled train that Amtrak says malfunctioned, with passengers reporting they were stuck without power and AC near Baltimore. It's so hot, the Washington Monument is closed for tours. In the Catskills of New York, Aaron Blakely says he was forced to shutter his restaurant Monday out of safety concerns for his staff in the kitchen.
Describe the conditions to me.
With a flat top and a fryer going full on, it can get up over about 115, 120 degrees on a day like today.
The biggest reprieve for folks trying to beat the heat, the water, from jet skiing to splash pads.
It's nice and cool right here, and City Hall isn't open yet, so we figured that they can play there.
Different ways to beat the heat, right?
Yeah.
Though experts still warn to take precautions outside in this historic heat.
What do you want people to remember throughout this really hot week?
Well, we definitely want people to stay hydrated, making sure that you're drinking enough water, making sure we're constantly monitoring how long am I in this heat, because the heat wears you out just sitting in it, let alone walking in or doing extraneous activities.
Heavy rain has once again closed Interstate 40 along the Tennessee and North Carolina state line. This is the same area currently under construction for repairs from Hurricane Helene back in September. Flash flooding and a rock slide on June 18th caused mud and debris to cover the road, catching motorists off guard and leaving them stranded for hours. Mackenzie Phillips was traveling on I40 when the rock slide hit. She recorded that moment on TikTok, and that video now has more than 1.1 million views. Kenzie was nearing the state line when she drove through rain for about 10 to 15 minutes. She says water was already trickling off the side of the mountain and even described it as looking beautiful. But her trip quickly went from dreary to dangerous.
The water wasn't that high. Like, a lot of people think that we drove into it being high, and we did not drive into it being high. Like, we drove through what looked like a little puddle, and then all of a sudden it was up to our window. And so it was crazy. It was really, really fast.
Mackenzie immediately got on the phone with 911, who talked her through getting herself, her boyfriend, and her 75-pound dog to safety.
They were just telling us, like, don't open your doors, get on top of the car. So I got out, got on top of the car. My boyfriend picked our 75-pound dog up, shoved her out, so she's on the roof. And then he gets on the roof, and he gets all of our clothes that we packed for our trip out of the car, my makeup and hair kit for my job out of the car. And then we were over the barrier after jumping on other cars like the floor is lava, and it was crazy.
She says the entire event felt like a bad dream and wants to give credit to the first responders who helped get everyone to safety during the scary situation. TDOT crews also responded quickly to the damage and estimate that repairs will cost up to $500,000. The section of I-40 that was impacted by the flooding is also where the Appalachian Trail crosses the interstate. The heavy rain caused severe damage and erosion along the trail near Davenport Gap. The Appalachian Trail Conservancy asked hikers to be cautious and watch out for crews as they work to repair the area. A hostel along the AT in Cocke County was also damaged by the floodwaters. Standing Bear Farm has been around for a century and provides a place for hikers to rest and resupply on their journey through the mountains. Emily Crabtree spoke with the owner of the hostel, who's still figuring out what she's lost.
I'd been there almost 30 years, and in that time it had never flooded. That's why at first we were just kind of excited, exhilarated and stuff, but then after a while it was like, hey, this is not so fun anymore.
The Standing Bear Farms hostel in Hartford has been around for 100 years, and the owner, Maria Guzman, says it's never seen flooding like this, even during Hurricane Helene.
Within 30 minutes it all kind of just came up to where it was like going over my porch. There was mud going on my porch, and then I was noticing in the house there was like a little bit of rain coming in, and yeah, it's kind of crazy. All in 30 minutes, And then the sun came out and started going down a little bit, but for a while there it was pretty hairy.
Water washed some buildings away, mud caked others, and the staff and visitors had to be rescued by the SWAT team.
And we were outside in a tank. We left in a tank, and never been in a tank before, so I like to see the silver lining.
And while Maria is unsure of what still stands at her business, one thing is for sure. People in Hartford are ready to help. Maria's cousin Michelle Cuellar owns the Bean Tree Cafe and Bean Sprout Coffee. Both suffered damage from Helene last September. She says people are already trying to find ways to help.
We work together here in Hartford and take care of each other. We've already had several people wanting to put together a team that when the air clears that we're going to go over and help her with all of her needs. So we know how to do this.
Reporting in Hartford, I'm Emily Crabtree.
Right now, there's a GoFundMe out there to help rebuild the Standing Bear. If you would like to donate, we have a link on our website, WBIR.com. The closure along I40 is affecting businesses on both sides of the state line. In Tennessee, the damage is impacting how far upstream rafting companies can go. Lauren Davis shares how one owner is staying positive and when local leaders expect the road to reopen.
It's the first full whitewater rafting season after Hurricane Helene, and rafting companies say they're open and ready for business. But last week, flooding and a rock slide shut down part of I40 for the foreseeable future. Business owners say this could cause another hit.
It caused 4 slides on I40, one of which cut off our access to where we normally put on for the upper section of our trips.
The latest mudslide comes after flooding from Helene damaged Smoky Mountain outdoors.
We were 100% lost. We lost 31 buildings. All have been built back. We are 100% back open.
Things were just starting to pick up for business with summer rafting traffic.
We've actually been open since March 1st, but the busy season starts Memorial Day weekend.
And Cocke County leaders want to help them out, something they've been doing since the aftermath of Helene.
We worked with the Cocke County Partnership to set up the Mountain Strong Fund, and that was for our homeowners, businesses, farmers, and so we did that last year, and so far out of that fund over $1 million have been distributed.
Looking ahead, they're hopeful it will be open soon ahead of the 4th of July weekend.
It'd be great for our businesses, but also for our great for our local traffic flow. You can imagine on that holiday, not just weekend, but that's a holiday week.
A spokesperson for the Tennessee Department of Transportation says they're hopeful to have this section of the interstate reopened by July 3rd. Reporting in Cocke County, I'm Lauren Davis.
When Hurricane Helene brought deadly floodwaters to Greene County, a man named Boon McCra stepped in to help. The ER nurse died, putting himself in harm's way while trying to save a person's life. Sarah Ottman explains how a new scholarship is honoring the first responder.
He's very much loved and very, very much missed still. And I think he'll always be right here with us.
When Hurricane Helene swept through Greenville, Boon McCra didn't hesitate. He launched his boat into the rising water to try and save a stranger.
His boat hit the bridge and it flipped, and he went in the water, and his intentions was to help that person.
Boon lived his life to the fullest. He even said so himself in the last video he posted to TikTok.
He was larger than life. He was always doing something, always doing an activity, coming up with the next bigger scheme.
A nurse, an adventurer, a son who always called to check in.
Boon always called me pretty much at the same time, and I miss those routines.
Now, that love he poured into others is being poured back through a scholarship in his name.
I think it would warm his heart I think he might be a little embarrassed, knowing that everything's been done in his honor, but I think he would be appreciative of it, and he was appreciative when everyone helped him.
The Boon McCrary RN Memorial Scholarship offers full support for adults returning to school, people like Boon who felt called to heal.
And if that person, man or woman, if they need a pinch hitter for something, I'm that person they can call. I'll help them any way I can.
Boon gave everything to help others in need. Now his scholarship will help someone else do the same.
I want them to put their patients first and to see their patients as people, just like Boon. I mean,
applications for the scholarship are open and are being accepted through July 1st. Applicants should have a resume, 2 reference letters, and a college acceptance letter. You can read more on how to apply at WBIR.com. The 2025 Atlantic hurricane season has been quiet so far, and things are still quiet at this time. Knock on some wood here. Tropical storm Andrea actually formed briefly on Tuesday afternoon well east of Bermuda and then quickly fell apart as it raced out into the Atlantic. Although we've had the slowest start to a season in about 11 years, the average date of the first named storm is June 20th, so we're actually running right on schedule. Activity typically ramps up through July, with the peak of season being from about mid to late August through around mid to late September. So we've got a while to go, but so far only one named storm off of the list. Now let's get a check of your 7-day forecast. It has been so hot here in East Tennessee, and it's going to continue to be that way as we go into the weekend. The humidity taking those actual air temperatures near 90 degrees and putting them into the mid to upper 90s. So continue to practice your heat safety and also keep an eye on that radar, as rain chances will be on the rise as we head into the weekend. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, you can always get the latest on the forecast with the 10 News app. It's free to download in the App Store.